You won't believe what was really on the menu at Buckingham Palace. While you might expect the royal family to feast on caviar, foie gras, and the finest French cuisine every night, a former royal chef has just spilled the beans on Prince Philip's all-time favorite dish, and it's shockingly down to earth. Get ready to be surprised as we dig into the unexpected comfort food that had the late Duke of Edinburgh coming back for seconds.
He'd often come in and just discuss about the barbecues. He loved to cook. He loved to cook on the grill. Prince Harry called him the master of the barbecue, and he really was. He'd come into the kitchen after afternoon tea, and the chefs would be shouting all the way around.
As the former royal chef recalls, Prince Philip wasn't just a fan of good food. He was truly passionate about cooking, especially when it came to firing up the grill. Nearly every week, the Duke of Edinburgh would stroll into the palace kitchen, casually dropping by 4 or 5 times to chat about all things barbecue. Far from being a passive royal when it came to meals, he was hands-on and genuinely enthusiastic about perfecting the art of outdoor cooking. Whether it was discussing techniques or planning his next barbecue feast, his excitement was contagious. He took real pride in manning the grill himself, earning a reputation among the family as the undisputed king of the barbecue. The chef paints a vivid picture of a royal who, despite the grandeur surrounding him, found joy and simplicity in preparing a perfectly grilled meal, showing a down-to-earth side of Prince Philip that few ever got to see.
And this was one of Prince Philip's favorites. Salmon kuibyak is a Russian dish, and Augustus Escoffier, the master chef in the whole universe.
Today, the ex-royal chef is preparing a dish that was one of Prince Philip's favorites, salmon kuibyak. This elegant Russian dish, rich in flavors and history, was a regular on the royal menu. The chef explains that salmon kuibyak is a traditional creation that dates back to the culinary genius of Auguste Escoffier, widely regarded as one of the greatest chefs of all time. Escoffier crafted this dish in collaboration with Russian naval officers, blending delicate salmon with layers of rice, mushrooms, and herbs, all wrapped in a flaky pastry. Prince Philip had a special fondness for this meal, appreciating its unique combination of flavors and the mastery behind its preparation. It was one of those sophisticated dishes that not only satisfied his refined tastes, but also gave a nod to history, embodying the kind of culinary indulgence he truly enjoyed.
In the dish, we have salmon, obviously, some puff pastry, mushrooms, onions, some hard-boiled eggs, some rice, and normally dill, but I like to use tarragon in there. So I'm going to chop all these, put all these together.
For this exquisite salmon kuibyak, the chef starts with the basics: fresh salmon and flaky puff pastry, which form the heart of the dish. But it's the layers of ingredients that truly elevate it. It begins with finely chopped mushrooms and onions, which add depth and earthiness to the dish. Then, hard-boiled eggs are chopped up, bringing a rich, creamy texture to the mix. Rice, of course, is a key component, providing a hearty foundation for the other flavors. Traditionally, dill is used to bring a fragrant herbal note, but the chef prefers tarragon for its subtle aniseed flavor, giving the dish a personal twist. As he prepares to bring these ingredients together, the excitement is palpable. This is not just any meal. It's a carefully crafted combination of ingredients that will create a perfectly balanced, unforgettable flavor profile, just like the Duke of Edinburgh would have enjoyed.
Prince Philip was the first member of the royal family that I met. It was at Balmoral Castle. I'd only been there a day. I was in the kitchen and I seemed to be on my own, and this man walked into the kitchen, this elderly gentleman, and he was in real tatty clothes.
McGrady recalls the moment he first met Prince Philip, and it's a memory that has stayed with him for years. It was his first day at Balmoral Castle, and he found himself alone in the kitchen, adjusting to the grand surroundings. Out of nowhere, an elderly gentleman walked in, none other than Prince Philip himself. The chef, still new to the royal household, didn't quite know what to expect, but what struck him immediately was how down-to-earth and approachable the Duke was. There was no formality or air of superiority. Instead, the prince casually entered the kitchen as if it was just another room in his house. This unexpected first encounter with Prince Philip set the tone for what would become a friendly and respectful working relationship, one where the Duke's passion for food and cooking shone through.
Prince Philip has a much broader palate than Her Majesty when it comes to food. The Queen eats to live, whereas Prince Philip lives to eat. He loves not only to cook food, but he loves to to forage, he loves to talk about food, he loves to grow food.
He shares an insightful contrast between Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth when it comes to food. While Her Majesty eats to live, Prince Philip truly lives to eat. His palate was much broader, and he had a genuine passion for all things culinary. The Duke wasn't just content with being served fine meals, he actively sought out the entire process. He had an enthusiasm for foraging, even seeking out fresh local ingredients to use in his cooking. His love for food went beyond the kitchen. He enjoyed growing his own produce and would even engage in discussions about different food varieties and techniques. During his travels, Prince Philip took every opportunity to explore local cuisines, always eager to learn and experience new flavors. This deep hands-on love for food made him a delight to cook for, as his passion was evident in everything he did.
With lots of garlic and lots of Indian spices and things like that, he's a real foodie. When we were cooking for them, we could never do, okay, well, your plate is going to have lots of garlic, your plate's having no garlic. It always was down to...
Moreover, Darren fondly remembers how Prince Philip's time in the Navy shaped his love for bold, flavorful dishes. The Duke developed a deep appreciation for a wide range of cuisines, especially with strong aromatic spices. Curries, rich with garlic and Indian spices, were among his favorites, showcasing his adventurous taste. Unlike many who might prefer simpler or more delicate flavors, Prince Philip was a true foodie who loved food that packed a punch. However, cooking for him wasn't always straightforward. This challenge was in balancing flavors for the royal family, especially since they couldn't simply make one dish with garlic for Prince Philip and one without for others. The chef had to be creative, making sure the dishes appealed to everyone's tastes while honoring the Duke's love for bold and exciting flavors. For Prince Philip, food was an experience, and every meal was a chance to explore something new.
He said, well, we'll have those. In fact, we'll have both, and I'll cook. And so he actually cooked on the grill that night. He cooked for me. There was I, his chef. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Go out and do royal engagements while he was doing my job in the kitchen?
Darren McGrady shared a memorable moment at Sandringham when Prince Philip took the reins in the kitchen. It started with a simple question from the Duke about the evening's dinner. When the chef mentioned the lamb chops he had prepared for the royal family, the Duke was curious about the extra lamb chops set aside for the staff. Without hesitation, Prince Philip decided that they would have both sets for dinner. And then, to the chef's surprise, he announced that he would be the one to cook for them. The Duke, ever the hands-on foodie, fired up the grill and took charge of the meal himself. McGrady laughs as he remembers this dilemma. What was he supposed to do while the prince was in the kitchen doing his job? The royal chef couldn't exactly leave for engagements while the Duke was cooking his own dinner. It was a moment that perfectly captured Prince Philip's love for cooking and his down-to-earth nature.
Were there lots of strawberries that were ripening? Were the vegetables ripe? And he had these plums that grew at Balmoral that were just amazing, and often you'd see him just in the garden, just sort of stood there picking these gorgeous Victoria plums.
He also told how Prince Philip had an incredible connection to the land at Balmoral, often making his way into the gardens early in the morning to check on what was ripe. He wasn't just interested in the produce, he took a personal interest in the growth of everything, from strawberries to vegetables. The Duke knew exactly when things were at their peak, often inspecting the gardens to see what was ready for harvest. One of his favorites were the plums that grew at Balmoral, which were truly exceptional in taste. McGrady remembers seeing Prince Philip standing in the garden, casually picking these plums himself, taking the time to enjoy the fruits of the estate. It was a perfect example of his hands-on approach, not just in the kitchen, but in every aspect of his life, from cooking to the very plants that nourished his meals. Prince Philip's love for food wasn't just about eating, it was a way of life. From grilling to foraging, he embraced every moment in the kitchen and garden. A true foodie at heart, his passion for flavors will always be remembered.